stream. How we all doing out there today? Hello, hello. Hi everyone in chat. What's up? Are we ready? Are we excited? Ooh, so many of you here already. Alright. Sorry for starting a little later. I mistimed what I was doing today. But we're here. We're gonna see how much we can get done today. We'll do our best to get through as much as we can. Quick stuff before we get started. This is the last stream for this month. Next time I stream is going to be for the monthly challenges on February 1st, the winners. So that is when I'll be back. And you'll notice in the Discord that I have changed the channel where it used to say January Art Critiques. It now just says Art Critiques. So going forward, that is where you can post things, and they will be happening throughout other months as well. Maybe at least 100% one stream per month. If I'm feeling funky, there might be 2. But the minimal, there will be a stream a month for critiques. And there still will be the monthly challenge streams as usual. And yeah, who knows, maybe more. I want to try to stream more this year. It might be a little rough, might be hard for me to do, because my schedule is more packed than it was last year, so we'll see. I'll do my best. At least maybe weekends, I'm hoping I can stream on a weekend. But for now, we're going to continue where we left off. If you want to follow along, you can go into the Discord, and you can see the Art Critiques channel, and scroll all the way to the top, and that is where we're starting. You are free to submit at any time your own art if you so wish. And please make sure you include what you want us to talk about, or else I'm just going to kind of wing it. And I don't like winging it, because I want to make sure I'm talking about stuff that you actually want me to talk about and not stuff you don't, because that can be rough. And yeah, anything's allowed. All the usuals, all the art stuff. It could be a finished drawing, it could be an unfinished drawing, it could be character design, it could be whatever your heart desires. Just don't put your monthly challenge stuff in there, because then I'm like, hello. At least maybe wait until the monthly challenge is over, and then you can post your monthly challenge, because don't spoil me, But with that, I'm going to hop right into this. As usual, chat, you are free to participate in how this goes. I'm going to pull this first one up. This very first one is from Ember May. And I think we're doing character design first. Which, have talked a little bit about character design on past streams recently, but not too much. Let's read what they say. This is a ref sheet for their OC. They had some trouble preventing the shades of black blending into each other, mostly in the hair. Feedback on how to make the black and white color scheme more interesting to the eye would be nice. Dope. Alright, so we got this monochromatic thing. Oh, you helped design this. Sick. It's cool. It's cool. So I have my black and white. I mean, we don't really need this because the whole thing is black and white. But, let's look at what we're looking with. So I see what you mean. Like, these colors are very, very similar. I think their lighter shades work, but it's definitely the darker shades we're getting into some trouble. What could help is just reusing. So if your 2 colors are too similar, just reuse the same color. That's a great way to stop the similarity problem. For example, instead of making their hair color a different color, make it one of the colors of the outfit. Whoopsie. So it looks, I'm trying to match. First let me match what's what. So this one is that color. Hold on, I gotta get my brush back to normal. Okay. So That's that. Yes. Is that also that? Yep. This one is... Nope. Nope. Oh, wait. Which... This is none of them. I am confused. Okay, so that color is none of the palette. Then where is... Yeah, that's that one. That makes sense. Oh, did you include... Oh, you know what this is? I think they included how they shaded. Yeah, the shadows are... Okay, so here's a tip. When you come up with your color palettes for your character designs, don't include the shading. Unless it's like maybe there's like a gradient or something, but this should be the flat colors only. Alright, so if I was to do that, then we might start seeing... Yeah, because the hair is the same color. So, yeah, stop including the colors for the shading, because that's not part of the character design. That's just shadows. Completely different. Because those shadows will change depending on the lighting of the scene, right? So, there's really like 4 colors here. Yeah. You have 4 colors. That's great. That's a beautiful palette. And already the shades are vastly different. I think you're confusing yourself because you're including the shadows. If I was to make this palette like what I'm actually seeing, it would be that one. And then it would be... Where is that? Oh wait, let me bring back my thing. It would be... Yep, that. It would be that. And it would be that one. So your problem is your palette's wrong. There we go. Oops. I'm zooming a lot, sorry for the... There we go. Here's your real palette. Beautiful. Done. That's your actual color palette. I think you're psyching yourself out. Your colors they're all different shades. I think the vibe is cool. You're really using your colors well, but I think you're over analyzing how many colors need to go into this palette. Because this palette is not bad. If anything, you could lighten, because now you have only one white. If we get rid of that, there's one white color. You could lighten the jacket a tiny bit if you really want to, but it's not like going to be the biggest of changes. Oh, let's not do that. But it is something to do if you still want more variety. We could change just this part. But stop including your shadows as part of your color palette, because it's not part of your color palette at all. Let's try this. I mean, I don't think it's needed, but if you really want more, then more variety, then you can always lighten it instead to show variety. But I don't know. I think the dark cloak is cool. It's not necessary, but it's just something to think about. I think you are psyching yourself out because the palette is fine. You have 4 colors in your palette, not like 8 or whatever it is you had here. You don't have 7. You have 4 colors. There's not 7 colors in this palette. It's 4 colors. Alright, I got nothing else to say because the colors are perfectly fine. I think you're over-analyzing it. Alright, I'm done with that one. Huzzah! That was an easy start. Alright. I see that a lot. I see a lot of people put their, like, shadows and highlights as part of their color palette, and I'm like, what are you doing? like your character's not going to be lit the same way every single time you draw them. The shadows and highlights will change. So stop doing that. If anyone out there does that, stop doing it. The lighting is never consistent. The base colors are consistent. The lighting is not. Alright, let's look at this next one. This one's sick. Alrighty, this is a cool drawing. I will tell you who it's from in a second. This is from Tarfy. Perspective and atmosphere. Cool. Yeah. You include your colored line art. Stop doing that. Those aren't your character's colors. Why I say stop doing that is because the point of having, like, the character palette is, like, if you were to send this to a random stranger to color it, could they mimic, like, other people don't color their line art. So it's unnecessary to put the line art color in there. You know what I mean? Like, I color my line art too, but I change it every single time because it depends on how the shadows look. Because my line art colors will change depending on how it's shaded. So just don't because when you start doing that, then you start getting confused. Because then if you send that palette to someone for, like, a commission or something, now this person is like, what are all these extra colors and where do I use them? And they're going to be really confused. The simpler you can make your reference sheets, the better, you know? Okay, let's look at this bad boy. Let's do perspective first, because I have an idea for atmosphere. But I want to find, where's our horizon line first? I think is that a horizon line? Is that the horizon? That might be the horizon line. So we're kind of in, like, a fishbowl, though, so I think it's warped. Let's see. You know what? I have a better idea. Is it? Maybe it's not. Maybe I lied to you. Well, there's definitely... This is our... I think it... Maybe it's not 1 point. This is hard. I don't know exactly where... Because if I look at the background, maybe... Okay, I think that the perspective... Because this... I'm getting confused by the buildings in the sky. Maybe they're just fishbowls. They could just be at a fishbowl, like, thing. But I'm just gonna draw us a grid real quick. Hello, my guidelines. I want to see if I can line up. Yes. Yeah, I have another one. I'm gonna line up comparative to the buildings as best as I can. So maybe the vanishing point is off synth screen. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually following a vanishing, because none of those points were leading to the same vanishing point. Like, none of those lines. So, I think maybe it's a tad off. The thing is, I feel as though it's so unnoticeable because of how good this drawing is. It's extremely unnoticeable. But once you start, like, actually lining up some buildings and stuff, you can sort of start seeing how not everything actually lines up to a perspective grid. Like, the same point. It's very subtle, so I don't know if it's like the biggest thing. Like right now, I don't think I'm gonna have to change anything. Um, but it is something to um, watch for. Um, because a lot of these building lines like are sort of lining up. I think the perspective works, but it's just being careful that we don't lose it for everything, you know? Did they use a picture reference? I don't know, maybe. That is something to ask the creator of this, Tarfi. I don't know if they used a picture reference. If they did, then that can explain, like, why it's a little wonky, because you're not, like, using a grid, you're just drawing from reference, which could also make it a little wonky. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just, like, I don't think I noticed that the perspective was wonky at all until I started to draw a grid. So it's really not that noticeable. And also, it's, like, kind of at a fisheye a little bit, so it's hard for me to draw a perfect grid. So I think it works. It's just, going forward, be careful to create that grid for yourself. Okay, something I wanted to do that I think is needed to add to this atmosphere is adding some depth by blurring some of the background. Where's my blur tool? So it'll help us to see like the stuff that's closer more in depth if we make the stuff farther away less visible. Like it's harder to make out what it says. Like even these words can be blurred. And it pushes those characters to the foreground more if you blur background elements. So I'm just going to add like very small amount of blur just to make it pushed out more. Might even add a little more. Farther away stuff should be more blurry. Let's see. Bring it up. Oh, whoops. I want my blur tool, not my brush. Just like a gradient of blur. It also puts more focus on the characters when you do this. Gaussian blur. Yeah. Might add like a tad more blur. I don't want to go too far because it's pretty close to us. Obviously, this would be much easier if I had the raw file because the background is probably its own layer. But I'm doing my best. Trying to not blur the characters. Filter blur. Okay, I think that's blurry enough. I don't know who the focal point point is? Good question. I don't know if these. I think these might be characters from something, so it could just be what the character wears in the thing. And my guess is the green guy is supposed to be the focal point. But yeah, I just blurred it a bit, and I think already if I go back and forth, you can start seeing how it like adds more depth. So here's what we have now with the blurs, and here was it without the blurs. It's not like the world's craziest change, but it definitely adds more depth to the drawing. When, especially when you're doing something really cinematic, totally add that blur to separate your front and back more. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I think we just said like check your perspective and blur your background, and it also adds to the atmosphere. I mean, it's very like dreary in this paint. This like it's winter time. We got snow on the ground. So yeah, make it. Think of it like a camera lens, right? How like the camera lens will blur the stuff that's not in focus. Like the focus is the front, and then everything in the background will get blurred. So that's kind of how you should think of it. Like you have a camera in your hand. So yeah. Blurring. Huzzah! Good job. These first two have been very simple. Okay. Let's keep going. This is from Coco. Common name in the server. Got this nice grayscale piece going on here. I'd love to see a gradient mapping over this bad boy. That'd look cool. Shading. Shading. Our favorite. Let me look at it. Tiny. I feel like this is like super close to like being beautiful. Well, it is beautiful. What am I saying? It's like super close to perfection. My one thing that I'm noticing is I would still like to see some harder edges to like your defined edges. I mean, I know you're getting rid of a lot of them in how you're shading. And don't be afraid to go like pure black with it. Yeah. Delete AUs. Oh, I gotta look this person up. You're inspired by Delete AU's art. Let me look at their art. I want to see the inspiration. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, I'm gonna pull one of their art pieces up that is safe to look at on stream. Let me find one of their more grayscale pieces. Wow, their art's gorgeous. A lot of these look like whips. Let me find a finished piece. Let's see. Oh, that's one. Oh, hold on. I found one that looks usable. Wow, look at this art. Gorge. This is pretty. And look, they have wings. So that's a good one to look at. I want to see if there's any more before we talk, because that's pretty good. Man, they draw this character a lot. Damn. Any other black and white ones? Not really. These all have color in it. Whoa! That's pretty. I found a good one. I don't know who this character is that they're drawing, but they're cool. I like this character. Okay. I think that's enough. Two is good. Okay. Um, so... Yeah, so something that they're doing is, again, that high contrast. See how, like, they're going, like, really black. If I pull, like, this is pure black. They don't really ever have pure white. It's, let me see. Yeah, no, they don't ever use pure white in any of their art. It's always a little off white. Just like a tad bit off white. Like, this is pure white. It's actually not pure white. Which is interesting. But they do seem to use, like, pure black. So, I guess something that to kind of, like, get more into this, they're using, like, really defined edges. If I look at this shadow, like, I can see a very defined edge here. To the shadows, and I think that's something that's might be missing here in your art. Is it's just it's soft throughout, but there's definitely points where like you could have, like we could have a more defined edge to the shading. You know, like don't really have that moment of this is where it gets darker, you know, if I just do it here real fast. And the face too, because they do it throughout, it looks like even here on the back. Oh, this is such a good drawing. I hope this doesn't flag TOS, but this is a gorgeous drawing with the bony structure of the body. But yeah, they have these defined edges. Even here, like it's soft, but it's there. There's a defined shadow here. I got these shadows. Yeah. Pretty. This is a great drawing. I can see why you like this artist. This is gorgeous. So I think that was something I was noticing too anyway, is that I'd like to see like a little bit more of an edge to some of these shadows and not being afraid to go darker with like just using pure black to really push it out. And then again, they never use white, so you could like they never use pure white. There's also, I think, a blue tone in some of their art as well. But I'm going to boost the contrast a little. I wonder, too, if we add a slight hue. They have like a blue. There's like a blue tint in their art, so let's... Not that much. This is rough. Ugh. I don't know if that really changed much. But, anyway. Yeah, something they did too. Someone said they're blurring the wings. I think they're blurring the stuff that they want out of focus. So it's actually very similar to the last piece we just looked at, is like not being afraid to like blur the stuff that is not the main focus. So that would probably be like the cape back here. Like adding a subtle blur to it. You know, just like a tiny bit. Because for this one, on the left, again, I think it looks like it's kind of the wings and it's some of the body, because the body is not, like the second arm in the back, it's not the main focus. So, yes. And then, What else did I do? I see some chromatic aberration. Oh my gosh, our favorite thing. Let's see if we can do this. Channels. One second. Oh. Why you no show me nothing? Ugh, channels, you suck. I'm trying to make the chromatic aberration happen, but whatever. Pretend I did it. I don't got the time right now. Yeah, so adding that, I know there's a filter in Procreate that does it automatically. But yeah, anyway, I think you're on the right track. Like I said, I think your drawing is gorgeous. I think if you're trying to like really emulate an art style, it's really good to like sit there and like dissect that artist's art, like what I just did, like color pick and like look for the shadows and the highlights and the weird stuff like the chromatic aberration and like the blurring and stuff like that. What I thought the way you were painting reminded me a lot more of like concept art for video games, specifically League of Legends. Because in League, a lot of what League artists do, I'll just find a random. I don't play League, but I know a lot about the art behind it because I see it all the time. But like, here's a random piece of art. What they do is they'll draw this in grayscale, and then they'll paint over it with gradient maps. So what I thought you were doing was doing the grayscale, because this looks like it would be really good to be gradient mapped, which adds the color onto it. Process. Let's see if there's like a process drawing. Let's see. You have an ArtStation post. A lot of them have ArtStations. Oh yeah, here. Oh, I can't. This is a GIF. Great. Can't show that. But this is like this was the work in progress, and then it became this. So like they paint right over it with the colors. That's kind of what I was vibing with yours. It reminded me a lot of this process. So I don't know if that was something in your thoughts, if you wanted to paint over it, but I think that your grayscale abilities are very strong. And it is something to think about. It's a very valid way of painting, is doing the grayscale technique. I've tried it before. It's really cool. Gradient maps are a Photoshop thing? No, they exist everywhere. They're on every program. I used them in Art Studio. I believe Procreate has them. Gradient map. Yep, they exist in Procreate. They are in Photoshop, but no, you can do it in Procreate. They're great. It's an adjustment layer. Google it. But yeah, you can do it in Photoshop if you have Photoshop. Gradient mapping is fun. I've done it before. I did it for Which piece? Hold on. I've done it for a drawing that I will show you in a second. I don't use it that much because I don't really like what it looks like sometimes with my art because my grayscaling is rough. Oh, this one. This I did it in. This one. I used gradient maps for this. So I did this in grayscale first. And then I colored it with gradient maps. You can kind of see there's like a vibe to gradient mapping. But yeah. I want to see more. You said you're going to try it again? I want to see you try this again. I think you can do it. You're already there. You're already on your way. Alright. Let's keep going. New tab. This is from... Okay, can I pronounce this? Shield 1L? I don't know if I'm supposed to say the number or not. So forgive me. We have this line art. These two characters. And I'm just gonna call them Shield for short. Have skeptical on the black haired character and want critique on the pose. Posing. Sick. We haven't really talked posing. Let's do it. I'm gonna change my background color for my sanity. Okay, there we go. Alright. Okay, let's start by tracing and figuring out what we're looking at, and then go from there. So let's just separate these two characters. So we have girl A, got our blonde girl, and we got the hand. She's holding something, can't tell. Oh, I guess her body's back here too. Okay, she thick. We see it. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, let's do blue. Let's trace this girl. That's not right. Alright, gonna have to do some guessing here. Looks like we have the body here. We have the waist here. I'm gonna separate. Let's go green. Which means we have, interesting, okay. Shoulder, got some foreshortening. Second hand, not entirely sure. I guess the shoulder would be here, but the elbow's up here. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing the cracks forming. And then we have, I think this is a leg, but I don't ever see the top of it. Alright, I see the cracks. I see what's happening here. So my guess is it kind of got lost in the sauce because it's being blocked a lot. So my guess is that you drew character in the front and then tried to fit the character in the back behind it, but you didn't actually draw the whole body as if character A, front character, wasn't blocking her. So it's hard to tell what's going on because you were trying to put her in there without knowing what her body looks like without the front character. So we need to figure out the back character's body as if it existed without something blocking it. And that is how you're going to be able to get your poses and your anatomy correct. So, for instance, if I was to do some moving of the body parts here, The first thing is her shoulders are a little funky, so we're going to want to make her shoulders the right length. So shoulder, shoulder, and we have body. Okay, and then you have waist here. Cool. Great. I don't really know how thick these characters are. I'm just kind of guessing. So now you have the legs being up. So this leg up, right? Let's do this. I have an idea. Because I need extra space. So, yeah. I need to figure out where the rest of the leg is, even though it's being cropped off. That's important to know. So, when in doubt, use a reference. Put yourself in this pose. See what happens. So my guess is that her legs are... Hold on. I'm going to draw this separate first, because I'm getting confused. So, my guess is we have body, we have waist, and then we have okay, I see what's happening. I think we have to move her waist down because we want these to be on the same plane. So her waist needs to come down more. I think we shouldn't see her waist start here at all. I think we're seeing it too early. And then we have this one. That was a good arm. And then this arm. Like that. Okay. So, how does that translate to this? Good question. That this needs to come down. And then that means that this needs to come down. Okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now. Because then you have your legs. And then you have your arms, where this one is pretty solid. But this arm has to come forward first, and then down. Okay, so let's see if I can do some edits. Wish me luck. It's going to be a rough one. I believe in myself. Let's separate the characters first. Luckily, it's a white background, so easy for me. Okay, now let's take this character out. Okay, so how does this translate to the big one? take out this arm and move that over. So, move that arm down a little, and then not too sure what's happening with this shoulder, but we're gonna move it over a little. Yes, maybe. Just gonna do a rough sketch in here of this part. So yes, we have leg. So we should see this part of the leg. So this would be the this would be the shorts, whatever that was over here, right? Except I gotta bring it down, actually. So let's do that. Yeah. Also, now I think her boob's a little too high up on her body. So now we got the back. You can actually see that now. Very, very rough. And then you'd have other sleeve, and then this sleeve, and then we'd have perspective doing its thing. And then whatever the hair is doing, I don't really know. So even though that's going to get blocked, by knowing what's happening, it will make sense when it goes over. Now we have our new pose, which I think is working better now. And have your collar there. Yeah. Alright, chat. Thoughts? Yes, no, maybe so. I'll do the before and after here. So here's our new pose, and here's the old one. New, old, new, old, new, old. Yeah, I think it reads a little better now. But yeah, always make sure to like check the pose without the thing blocking it before you commit. Draw them as if they are not existing together. Yeah, I don't know. Color this. It's cute. Awesome. Let's see what's next. Okay. Alright, next we have Storm. We have this drawing from Storm. Hello. Oh, that's wrong. Alright. Cool. The last drawing of 2023. getting into backgrounds and landscapes. Struggled a lot with giving depth to the lighting. Advice for that, and composition. My idea was that you look at the moon and it leads you to look at the character. I'm a little worried about the clouds. Didn't put much time into them. Okay. There's a sunset. Interesting. So, couple things they want to talk about. Lighting, depth, composition. I think all three of those things can kind of come together in one. So very first thing I want to see is, let's talk composition. So if I was to make a thumbnail of your drawing, you know, something that shows me your idea, it's just like a basic thumb. We'd have our moon in the middle, right? Have your flat landscape here, and then you have your ice mountains, right? And then you have, there's a little more space here, but we have a character here. And then you have like your wrapping clouds. Right, this is kind of what it looks like. And even if we go gray with it, because I do want to do this, and we were picking out by color, it's a little more, so we have like a gray scale, so going on, and then you have your moon, and you have your clouds, and then mountain, nope, you have this, and then you have your character. So here's my little baby thumbnail. So when you look at it this way, you can start seeing some of the issues with how the lighting works. It's very same, especially in the background. And the character is the one, I think the character is drawing more focus than the moon is. I'm not gonna lie, when I opened this, I think I looked at the character first. And it really could also be with how rendered it is. So when it comes to composition, if you want it to be that we look at the moon first, the way you stage your whole thing can also give us a different vibe. So you're looking head on, directly centered, everything's in the middle. It's kind of boring. If we want the moon to be the focus, we can do a lot of different things. Or we want the moon, right? We can have, a view where we want the character to look up at the moon, so we could have like, this is the back of the character's head, right? And they're looking like this, right? And the moon is up here and is shining, right? And then you can have like your mountains or whatever here. You can still do your clouds. But now it's like, oh, the character's very much the front view, and now we're following the character's eye to the moon. So we're looking from the character to the moon. That's one way. If we wanted to keep it this same composition, we could also just get a little closer to the character, and crop out some of the legs. And we can keep this. I would suggest you curve the lighting. I would like you to curve the actual horizon line as well. That would be a nice little touch. I think something also is missing is I wonder if we could have, I don't know, it's very empty next to the character. So putting more, like if I was to stick with this composition, if there was more around the character, Like, even if we had, like, that big mountain, like, maybe it cut up here instead, like, it goes off the screen, and then you have more. Just to fill the space a little more. Is the horizon already curved? I don't see a curved horizon. It looks pretty straight to me. The shading is curved, but the horizon is pretty straight. And if it is curved, it's not curved enough. It's like the most uncurved curve ever. And then, yeah, and I think these mountains should probably continue throughout the whole background. And then you can have your moon and your clouds. I feel like we just need something happening next to the character. Feels very empty in that space. Just something. But yeah, this one too. Get a little closer to that character. You could still do the center composition, right? And I do think the character's back should be towards us. I think if it's looking up at the moon, then we should see the back of the character, not the front. And then you can have your mountain thing here and yada yada. So my biggest thing is the staging, how you're posing things, and as well as like filling your space up. And then when it comes to shading, you want that shading to also play with it. If I look in the grayscale right now, it's very flat, right? There's not a dark, there's not a light. So to find the depth with this, not lie, this is the one I would have gone with, is that one. It's a little more interesting to look at. Obviously, there is no right answer. It's a personal preference. But that would be my personal preference. Is that like one where we're really close to the character and we're looking up. And the shadow is like really bright on the character. So I'm gonna add if I was to add shading to this, got like a purple light going on here, I would make this character a lot darker in space. Could look better with the ends cropped. That could be something. We could try that. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to do that. I clicked off of Photoshop. Sometimes a crop does a lot. Nothing wrong with a good crop. So I think the back would be darker, right? And then the shadow would come the opposite way. So I think the shadow might be backwards. Right? We want the shadow to go this way. Right? Not that way. Right? And then again, we have the blur. I would blur these mountains 100%. Might even blur that a little. Blur can add a lot to your composition. And honestly, I'm gonna make this glow more. I don't think it's glowing enough. And then we want to add the light back in. Yeah, I would definitely turn this character around. Show us his back instead of his front. Someone suggested cropping it. We can try that. Let's see. Okay. Let's try it. Alright, I brought it in a little more. Thoughts? Or I can do it this way. Make it a little more square. Okay, maybe. Yeah, crop could help it. Just trim the edges a bit. There is a lot of empty space here that is not being used. Okay, so to reiterate, we talked about is, composition. So finding one that like tracks the eye. So cropping, right? No, I'm like using the empty space. Empty space. Portrait, yeah. We could even go full portrait mode with this. That could help. I think flipping the character, so character's back. I think like we just need to see that because then it'll look more like they're looking up at the sky, at the moon. Shadows, deeper shadows. Blur the background. A lot of stuff. But since you are new to backgrounds, I will say, props to you for giving this a shot. It is hard to draw backgrounds. And I think you did a good job, especially like painterly, for your like first attempts. But I think, yeah, the way you crop it, the canvas, if you're like 100% have to go landscape mode, you have to really think about how it's being cropped. And I personally think that this, if we just made like, you could stick with this composition. I think if you just made the character bigger, it might work better, and flip it so we see their back, not their front. If you're not willing to do my crazy, like, depth perception, where the character's like, oh, or like looking up like this. This was my idea. Because I think this would look cool. And then you have like a little bit of background, and then you have your mountains doing its thing, and then you have your moon, and then you have your fluffy clouds. I think this would look cool, but it's definitely a harder perspective to do. than what you did. But yeah. So not a lot, because it's definitely something to go. I think this is something you have to go back to the drawing board on the actual composition itself. So that would be like fully moving everything around. But there is potential here for greatness. So don't stop drawing backgrounds. They are hard to do. It will take a long time to get used to it. Definitely use a reference when you can. Or photo bashing is great. You can paint over a photograph if you photo bash it. I do that all the time. I edit my own backgrounds and then paint directly over them. Nothing wrong with doing that. Cool. Let's keep going. All right. So this one is from Lambie. We've seen Lambie's won one of the monthly challenges before. I've actually drawn this character for them. Okay. So this character's from Lambie, and they say they want to know. Oh, they're gonna redesign this character, and they want to know anything that could be changed. Okay. Dope. Let's talk about it. Let's do gray check. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove the background first, because the background color is very similar to the character's color. So it's a little hard to read. So let's separate character from background. Just to make it a little easier to read it. Alright. We have character. Huzzah. Okay, so let's do it again. Let's look at this gray. I think, if anything, you could do for something way lighter. We have a lot of midtones here, or way darker. There's a lot of midtones here, but there's not a lot of, like, what I call them accent colors, where it's something that's, like, super duper bright compared to everything else, because it stands out as an accent. So if you were going to go to change this, I think you could do to push your colors to be less monotone. Even your skin tone kind of has like a green, has very much a green base to it, and it's also blending in. So I think you could do for a little bit more variety in the colors. I think this yellow is a really good opportunity to pop out. So if we were to like try it now, yellow always makes a great accent because it's bright. But the yellow you've picked is very muted. So even brightening that could do a lot. Find all the yellows. You know, I can just do it and then draw it later. Oh, great. I'll just do it first. bright color. Yeah, it's already brighter. Yeah, I think you could do for some just general bright and dark moments. Even the eyes could get a bit of a glow up to help them stand out a little more. Inside the ears, that's kind of cute. What else could be brighter? Oh, the bandage. Oh, the white. That's a good one. What if we make the white brighter? Yeah. A lighter white. That's nice. That stands out. And it's still not like pure white, but it's not like gray. Should be the shirt too. About the silver part of the jacket. Yeah, I think this is what you need. Is you need something lighter. We can even do a little darker. Maybe the gloves are a little darker. Even the white you're choosing is like, it's good that you're doing it off-white, but it doesn't need to be like so off-white that it's like dark gray now. You still want it to be, you know, a light white. You don't want a dark light when you do like the irises and stuff or the teeth. Okay, let's do a pass of the dark. I'm curious if we make the blacks darker, what happens. Okay. What does this look like darker? I think the shorts could get darker too. Because I think the shorts are too similar to the to the tail color, and they're kind of the same. That didn't do it. Oh, because that's not. There you go. Now maybe that's too dark, but we can play with it. Yeah. There's definitely nothing wrong with desaturated colors. But there could definitely, I think 100% if anything, you have one moment that isn't desaturated could like boost everything. If you take anything from this, is to find that accent color. Because that can really help pop it out. Got those muddy shoes. Okay, this is something. I think you just gotta play with your saturations and your values a little more. To help certain aspects stand out a little more than others. I think your color choices are nice. It's just now playing with the levels of saturation and the values. Like, I don't think you have to change the color entirely. Just maybe what we're seeing of that color. This is something. This is a cute character. Let's see. Now if I... Let's see if I like change how it's colored in. So that's the same. What color is that? What color is that? Oh, it's that color. That and that. That and that. Okay, so now we have... Whoopsie. Oh, okay, wait. Okay. Then that color is that one. So that is that. No, that's not there. Am I crazy? Okay, maybe I am missing something. Okay, wait. That color. Maybe I just lowered my tolerance. Okay. What color is this? Oh, your gloves. Okay. Yeah. Let's do a back-to-back. A reveal, as we call it. But yeah, I think just, yeah. Playing with your values a little more. It's still the same character. Just what is the neutral and what is the light and what is the dark. And like I said, you don't have to do all those changes I did, but if anything, pick something to brighten up. I definitely think the white should be brightened. Yeah, someone said that, especially like because the white of the eyes were like the white of the eyes were the skin tone. They were the same color, so definitely at least the whites could get brighter. But I'm excited to see what you end up doing with this character because it's a cute character, and I want to see your new redesign. So I hope you share it whenever you do it. Okay, what time is it? We got time. I can do more. You still with me, chat? Haven't lost you yet. Okay. Next one. Actually, you know what? Let's take like a 2-minute break. I need to get water. My mouth is parched. So please enjoy this music, and I will be back in like 1 minute. Okay. 2 more. Depends how fast I move. Got a lot done today so far. Okay. So, who's next? Where did we finish? We have this June Toonland. Okay. We have this drawing from June Toonland, if I can pull it up. Wow. Very, very Disney Channel art style. I vibe with that. I vibe with that in my soul. Let's see what they said. Background, of course. Color and anatomy. That's a lot of things. Information. The background is supposed to be atop of a mountain cliff. And the character on the right is wearing mechanical wings. Okay. Yeah. So, what can we do first? Background, color, anatomy. Let me separate the characters out first, because we're going to talk about them separately. Oh, good, it found the character. Oh, I found most of the character. Why did it just not? Odd. Just like did not include parts of the character. That's fun. Okay, they are separate now. I'm also going to separate them from each other. So, let's see. We could talk background first. Let's do that. I think that's going to be the easiest. Why am I using my mouse? I'm weird. Okay. Whoops. Just gonna fill this randomly for now. Okay. So positives, you are blurring your background, which is like, you know, what we've been talking about all day is blurring the stuff that gets farther away, and you are doing it successfully. 100%. So props to you there. We got that, the blurred depth. However, our foreground, I think we're losing the perspective a little. So they're on a cliff, and we're looking kind of like directly at them, right? So our characters, like we have our two characters, not maybe directly, but like almost directly at them. You got your two characters here, right, on this cliff line. So I think maybe you have to move the horizon, like the not horizon, but the back line. Maybe we gotta move them a little bit. So how to do that? Let me separate this cliff out. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze it. Oh, let's take the rocks out. I am removing every part of this. Hold on, let's take the rocks away, as well. we'll put those back in later. I'm like cutting up this art. So yeah. And then we got these rocks that we can bring back in. Okay. Yeah. And then we can see the actual cliff itself now. Like, you can show us the rock edge a little more in depth, and you can give us, I don't know, like, give us the rocks on here, whatever it looks like. However you feel you are coloring that. And then with this, I would even maybe point it a little more to make it feel a little more, I don't know, cliff edgy. And maybe bring this out more. Nope. Those like small warp things can really make or break the cliff asset of this. Yes. Yeah, the tree thing. Okay. Chat, does that read cliff to you? I think this reads cliff. Next was coloring. So there's lighting on the grounds, but not the characters. And I think that's a major thing that I am noticing. There is very much a drop shadow below the characters. So we should have a drop shadow, not a drop shadow, but we should have a shadow on the characters. However, and on the rocks, and not everything should have a shadow. You have a very dramatic floor shadow. It's either shade or don't shade. You know what I mean? Like, you can not shade, that's okay. But if you're gonna shade one thing, then it's gonna be weird that the rest doesn't have shadow. So it is something to think about. So like, even like a small amount, like showing us like the depth in the rocks and stuff by using the shadow. And, you know, highlights as well. You can light parts of it. Show us that it's a rock. And then same thing down here. You know, you can give us the cliff with the shadows. You can give it light on the edges. But definitely shade if you're gonna shade. You know, you could also get rid of the drop shadow. That's fine. You can do that. But keep in mind how it looks. And then with the characters too, I don't think your anatomy is, you asked about anatomy. I don't think your anatomy is really that bad. It's highly cartoon. It's very Owl House. Like that girl on the left looks like she could be in the Owl House. And that's not a bad thing. But it just means that your anatomy is going to be stylized as well, which is what I do all the time. So hold on. So we can do what we always do. Give it a big old trace on what we're looking at. I love the big feet. I'm a fan of big things in anatomy. Honestly, the one thing that's really not working is the body, the upper body of the girl on the left. Because I think everything else seems perfectly good. The only thing is her torso here is just a little funky. Because, you know, this line is the front line. So that should be what's in front. And then maybe her hips are cocked to the side for, like, pose. And I would pull her arm out more to get it to that pose you're going for. But otherwise, it all seems pretty solid. It's nothing standing out as, like, inherently bad about how you've posed most of this. I'm just gonna move her arm a little bit. There we go. I think we gotta squish that in a little bit. Just a tad. And then we got the body, which I'm just gonna warp it a little. Just the little things, making sure everything is in the right direction. So let's see. I think we've got it pretty okay. So hold on one second. Sorry. That was a sudden thing. Anyway, where was I? I like dipped out for like 2 seconds there. Sorry about that. So hold on. So um, okay, I'm done with this one. If anything, we could do like subtle baby shading. I honestly don't want to go too hard because I don't think it needs it. Um, but like even just like a little bit, could help. Even cartoons get shaded sometimes. Not all of them, but some of them do. And it can just be a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. Cartoon shading doesn't have to go hard. But you're giving us that drop shadow. We can match the vibes in how you shade. Especially if these are made out of mechanical wings. Give me some metal. That'd be cool to see. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is something. Chat, I think I'm gonna move on. I got a little distracted there, but yeah. So adding that shadow, even if it's a little bit shadow, just to show the depth, especially because you've already added some shadow to the floor, and then fixing that ledge a little more to show us more of the bottom and squeezing the thing, but and moving some of the anatomy on the girl. But I think it works. So here's the before, and here's the after. Also, like pulling them up was a nice way to like center them in the frame as well. They were really. I'm now noticing just how much space above their heads there is that you could use, and by bringing them up, we're using that space. You all know me. I love this type of art style. So keep it up. You're on a roll, especially because you're doing a background, which you said was new. So draw more backgrounds. Yeah. Okay. We can do one more at least. I think. Okay, well, maybe two, because this is a character design. These usually go pretty quickly. This is from Rena. We have this, like, VTuber looking character. I'm not sure if it is a VTuber, but it's giving me VTuber. Pop her right in the middle there. Cool. What does it say? Want to make her pop out more for future designs. Space theme, but expand on the colors. Want to make her more interesting. New outfit and hairstyles. Well, I'm not gonna give you outfit and hairstyles. I'm just gonna work with the outfit you gave us because I don't really know what you want to go with. So I don't want to put words in your mouth. But we can look at the colors we're looking at. It is a VTuber. How did I know? It's giving VTube model. Let's take a nice little close look at this girl. I love the space vibes. That's my aesthetic. The stars are cute. We got the constellations on the dress. That's fun. We got the little... Okay. Okay. I like this vibe. Oh, creator is in chat. Hello. Let's look at what we're looking at. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty nice. I think your grays are looking nice. Yeah. Okay. So then I wonder if, the next step. I don't know. This is very well put together. You put a lot of thought into this. And I guess if you're going into, I guess maybe not for this outfit. I guess if we're going into what can be done in the future, I think you have some motifs here that you could expand upon. Like here, you have you have the start of like the rings of the planet. I think it'd be interesting to see different outfits based off of different planets. Because you have like the solar system already. This is a solar system over her head. It's giving, when you see like a diagram of the solar system. So I don't know. So we'll make a list. Planet themed outfits. So that could be like the colors and stuff based off the planet. Maybe some mythology gets thrown in there too. So that could be something. I know a lot of space stuff, purple, tends to use purple. Especially because you have yellow. Yellow and purple are complementary. Blue's complementary is orange. So the blue is really pretty, but you could do purple instead. We could try it and really go for that complementary color vibe. Let's see what it looks like. I am clicking away. Okay, love when that happens. Okay, we're not done here. See, her hair is already kind of purple. So, I don't know if this will work because the hair is already purple, but it's worth a shot. Don't know until we try. See what happens. Interesting. I don't know. Can I still go for a darker purple if we want? Chat, any thoughts on purple? It could be something to think about. You guys like the blue more? I think maybe just purple somewhere. Again, it's that complementary. It's not necessary. Oh, on her new design, yeah. That could work. Yeah, I'm just noticing because her hair is also purple, so maybe it's not the best way to go. it's blue? Oh, it kind of looks purple. Maybe it's the shading. Oh, you're right. It is kind of blue. Yeah, you have just a purple shading. It just looks... yeah, you know, I don't know. I like the blue, too. They're both nice. They're both nice. I don't know. It's really tough to decide. Also change her shoes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think purple will look bad on her. I think purple looks nice on her. It's just when do you want to use it is the question. A gradient? Ooh, a gradient would be cool. Always love a nice gradient. There's already kind of a gradient going on already. But it could be a color gradient instead of just a value gradient. I don't know. She's cute. I want to see more. I think it'd be interesting to see more planet imagery. That's kind of my biggest takeaway. Oh, you know what might look cool? I wonder if we lighten this yellow just a tad. It's kind of blending in with her skin tone. Wonder if it gets a little brighter, if it will help. Let's try it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe lightening this a little could help. Just because it's similar to her skin tone. Somebody brought up gold, so this could be like a nice, kind of like a gold trim on the thing. I don't know. I think she's pretty. I think you really did think about this a lot. So I guess it's now, how do you do more with her? I think her base design's great. I like her face and her colors for her skin and hair and stuff. I love the stars all around her. I think it's cute. Her base design is a good start. Now it's like, you were talking about other outfits, and now it's like, all right, how do I dress her up in other things? And yeah, I think it'd be cool to see like different like planets inside of her, like her design. You said she was like a star goddess. Where was it? Goddess of the stars. Yeah. I mean, the sun is a big star. You can do something with the sun. That is a star. I don't know how she would look with reds and yellows. I don't know if she would vibe with those colors, but who knows? Why not try it out? I know when I was designing this character you were looking at, when I was designing this character, I came up with a bunch of different color palettes and then asked other people to pick because I was struggling. Wonder if I still have that picture somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. I'll show you my old color palettes. Do I still have it? Is the question. Where is that? God, it's gonna be such a bad drawing now because it's so old. Uh-oh. Is it lost forever into the ether? This should be around when oh, I found it. Alright, y'all are about to see the beta colors that I almost went with. You ready for some behind the scenes on my VTuber? Let's do it. I mean, we all know that, you know, this one is me. Number B. I almost went with C. I almost went with the orange one. I liked the orange vibe. Um, A's eyes are something to look at. That is for sure. But I did this. I did the same thing that I think would be nice for you to do, is like go through and make different colors. I kind of like D's not bad. Yeah. I feel like I would be a completely different character if I went with C. C's like her weird cousin. A's eyes are so bright. They're so hard to look at. Mm. I don't know. Maybe I'll do an alternate one day where I bring back the orange. Um, the yellow hair is interesting. I wonder what I would look like now with yellow hair. What do I look like? Let's see. Bruh. I don't look as alien because my skin feels like human skin. Blonde is not my color. You invert the colors and... Oh, I wonder what the colors are inverted. I'm curious. Oh, yikes. Oh, that's scary. Damn, that's kind of scary. Oh, I'm like green. Although C's inverted colors are kind of nice. Anyway, we got distracted. That was fun. I like talking about colors. You all guys got to see some behind the scenes. Okay. Do I have time for this? Do I have time for this? Sure. Let's talk about... This is the last one, I think. Because I believe this will take us to the end of what I have time for today. So this is from Antonymph, I believe. I'm so bad at usernames. I'm sorry, guys. I try. Antonymph says, the hand and the lighting. I feel like the lighting and or shadow could be pushed in some way, but I'm unsure how to do that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I got it right? Thank you. I try. I struggle sometimes. So, let's do the hand first, so we can talk about hands, and then we'll do some lighting stuff. Okay. Not terrible. I do need to ask, you are in chat, did you use a reference for the hand? Was there a photo reference involved somehow with said hand? Okay. It was your hand. It doesn't look like a baby. Don't say that. I'm gonna take a picture of my own hand right now. Hold on. Taking a hand picture. Give me a second. Okay. I'm back. I noticed is that is a hard pose to hold without your fingers bending. So I think one major thing I noticed is my fingers did a lot of bending when it came time to do this. And I also think maybe it wouldn't be so straight on. There's also a larger gap here. So I'm looking at my reference here, kind of straining my fingers to do this pose. This one is definitely going to be bent more. And then we have this one. Oh, you did by eye. Hey, there's nothing wrong with tracing the picture. I trace hands all the time. Many a hand I have drawn is a traced picture of my own hand. And then you can just stylize it from there. But I'm definitely seeing more bending happening in my fingers. Honestly, I may... Here. I'll trace my hand right now. Let's do it. Nothing wrong with it. If I can get this to send, why is it so slow? Oh my gosh, it's my hand. Alright, line it up. I held my mouse as if that was the object. Trying to line it up as best as I can. Okay. So we have, that's the palm, and then it's really stretched out. That is a hand, alright. I think the thumb wasn't too bad with yours, but now I wonder if we have to bring this all over. So I wonder, I want to line this up to kind of like the same place. Oh, I think that the placement is fine. I think now we just move that over a little bit. I don't know. That's kind of the hand vibe I was getting. I think the biggest thing is that's like, I think we gotta turn your hand a little more. Whether what I drew is the answer or not, I don't know. My thumb was really straining to get it. Yeah, I think the hand is a little bit more on the perspective than what you drew it at. Am I gonna strain my fingers again? I don't know. But I think to get there, I think there needs to be a bigger gap here between these fingers to really show that what's going on. The other fingers, like, again, you don't have to strain the fingers like I did. I don't think that I think the other fingers are working fine. I just was struggling to hold my mouse. I did not get a good grip on it. So it caused my other fingers to bend because of that, but that may not. You could go for more of a casual grip. You can fake it. It's okay to change the grip, you know, for the sake of the pose. But if anything, we want that gap between those fingers to be a little more prominent. So let's do this. I think we gotta bring the thumb out more. So that drip would be over here instead. Because there's definitely got to be more of a gap here. And I think if we keep the hand there, even that already feels a little better. Okay. Shade it. Yeah, I really think if we have something there, that it's not bad. I don't think it's a bad hand. It's just a tough position. And I definitely think if we have more space here, visible, like in the, between the pointer finger and the thumb, could really help with that pose. I think we just elongate the thumb a little. Actually, I wonder if this should come down a little. Maybe. Anyway, I think it's pretty good job, especially because you freehand it. Oh, the hand was interesting in the original. Oh God, you said this was for like a draw your own style, draw this in your style thing. Oh jeez. Okay, and then you wanted lighting, right? Yeah. I think I like the green. I like colored lighting a lot, so I do like the green vibe you added here. I wonder. Hold on. Also, I think this finger I'm now noticing is also a little. Okay, let's move that down a little. But anyway, the lighting is cool. I think we just got to have some edges, which is something that we've been discussing a lot, is having these like harsher edges and points, because it's very soft right now. So let's see if we go over this and just darken some of the edges here, like already you can see it pops out a little more. Oopsie. My cat is giving me an evil eye right now. But yes. Like you did it here with the lighting. You have this like harsh edge with your light, but not with the shadow. So I want to see, especially when it gets farther away from the light source, it should get a little darker. then again with the light getting brighter near the light source, which you've been doing already, but no harm in pushing it more. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. Do you want to say something, Kat? Speak. That wasn't a sound, that was a yawn. Kat, speak for the audience. Really? The one time you don't talk is when I want you to? You don't shut up usually. Meow. She wants dinner. My cat doesn't shut up. Can you speak? Tell them you're here so I don't sound crazy. Say, ah. No? Okay. Anyway. Cat aside. Yeah. Push that lighting. Don't be afraid of those edges. It helps. And then, yeah. Don't forget the gap in that hand. You did a good job, especially because you freehanded the hand. So that's hard to do. But it looks good. Yeah, so we have the new and the old. I'm curious what the original was, because this was for like a draw this in your style. I'm very curious what the original one looked like. But whatever it is, I like your take on this. Okay, I think that was our last one for today. Huzzah! Wow. Great stuff today, guys. I had fun. Yes, everyone believes in my ghost cat. Do you want to say something to the audience? Oh, do you hear her bell? That's her. Oh, now she's walking on my laptop. Okay. Let's not have you pressing the buttons. Not my cat about to shut my stream off. Anyway. I guess that's gonna be it for today. Yeah. Next stream will be the monthly challenge stream, which will be on yeah, it'll be on Thursday. Probably super late at night on Thursday. Because I work on Thursdays. So that's fun. But very late Thursday we'll have our stream. And yeah, we'll have our winners, and then I'll get back to you guys whenever the new critique streams will be. But they will happen. And I am 100% going to be editing these streams for like the TikToks and stuff. I'm just been way behind. I still have to finish editing the monthly challenge streams first, and then I will get to these. It's a slow process. I will get there. But there will be a post. This will get posted very shortly. If you missed, if you want to send it or you want to watch it back, this will be posted shortly on my YouTube. I will be sending a link to that in the server when I get there. Till then, thanks everybody. This was fun. I love doing these. I love hanging out with you guys. And I'll see you guys on February 1st. Oh, I forgot. Also, I will be posting the poll for next month's challenge, like, very shortly after this stream ends. I will be posting the votes. You can vote for the next month's topic, the themes for the next month's challenge. So if you're in the server and you want to vote, do it there, okay? Alright. Bye, guys. I'll see you next time.